Hi creative friends, welcome back for another week with Elizabeth Sampson, the Doodle Nurse. Today we are going to do Zentangles for beginners, the paradox pattern. So grab your supplies and let's get started. Make sure to subscribe and click the bell for notification. So I'm going to lay out some squares on my paper. I put 6 squares to be exact. You don't have to do that. You can put only one if you choose. And we're going to make a line to the top of the box, but it's going to be off a little bit. As you see, it's not in the corner at the top of the box. And I do the same on all 4 sides, making sure that you start where the line ended. So as you see, I'm starting where the line ends and I go to the next line. Now as I go up, I'm going to start at the corner and go up to the next line. And you can see how this unfolds. So you can see how we start at the end of the line that we last created and go over to the next line, but we're off a little bit from that line. Hopefully that makes sense. As I slow it down here, maybe I'll zoom in so you can see a little better. You can see how the pattern is unfolding before your eyes. It looks like it's a square, but it's rotating, which is the paradox, is why they call it paradox. So I'm going to speed up a little bit here. As you can see, you keep going around from every corner. And the pattern that develops will be different depending on where you start your line in the box. And if you're in a square, or if you're in a triangle or rectangle or whatever it be. So as you get towards the end, you don't have to use the ruler. You can freehand it, and it might be easier for you. So that pattern started in the lower left corner. So we're going to go to this next box and we're going to just reverse it. We're going to start in the lower right and we're going to move our way to the left. And so you will see how this pattern unfolds. Doing the same thing, start in the corner and work your way out to the next side. So I'll let you watch this. You can slow this down if you want at any time, and just pause it so you can take a look at what you're doing. But I will speed it up so this video isn't so long. I hope I'm not making you dizzy by spinning this around as I'm freehanding it. But when I get done, you'll be able to see that it's a mirrored pattern from the first pattern. And you can see how everything is just in reverse. So when you put this on something, you can make 2 boxes next to each other mirror, which is it's a nice look when it's completed. So this one I started in the lower left, and the other one I started in the lower right. So I'm just marking the box here so you could see. So in this next box, we're going to divide it and we're going to make 2 triangles. And the paradox pattern works the same way, only you're working in a triangle. So you're working 3 sides instead of 4. but it's the same way. So we're going to start this first triangle in the lower left corner, and you'll see how the pattern looks at the end of this one. Same thing, start in the corner, work your way up to the top, and then you're going to go from left to right and then back down to your beginning start. You're only working 3 sides here. It goes a little faster. Same thing, you can take away your ruler and freehand the end. When you get towards the end, it's a little tricky, but just watch what you're doing and you can just go from one side to the other. You might have to rotate your paper, that might help you, but other than that, it's the same thing. So as we start the next diagonal here, I'm showing you if you want to make a fan appearance, kind of similar to the one that when the 2 boxes are connected, you want to start on the upper right corner where I'm pointing here, and you want to go down to the lower left, and that's going to be the beginning of the fan, as you'll see when we start. So I'm marking the upper right so you know where I'm starting. And we're just going to draw from that corner down. And what you'll see unfold is this beautiful, I don't know, I guess I call it a fan. I'm not sure if there's a proper term for it, but you'll see the pattern that unfolds here. So guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so and click the bell for notifications. We are going to be doing a lot more tutorials this month, for the next month. So you will see these different patterns and doodle patterns and Zentangle patterns unfold. So you don't want to miss out. So as I freehand that, you will see there's a beautiful fan, or it kind of looks like a stingray, whatever it is, that you've developed from that pattern by putting Zentangles in 2 triangles. Take that square, divide it into the triangle, and this is what you get with starting on the lower left with the first one and the upper right. You will get this pattern. So in the lower box here, we're going to divide it the same way in half, and we're going to do the Zentangle pattern the same as we did on the top. You'll see how it comes out. You'll see the top half looks just like that, okay? And I was going to do it differently, but we did it the same way, so we'd have the same fan, just a practice session for you to do. Now in the next box, we're going to divide it into 4 little squares, and I'm going to pull out the small ruler, just make things a little bit easier, although hopefully you'll be able to see. In the first box, we're going to start in the bottom left again, although I rotated my paper so you could see it better. And we're going to go around as we did in the other ones through this box so you can see how it turns out. And as I slow down, I will ditch the ruler and you can see. So now in this next box, I am showing you, we could make a fan to go around, but I want to show you something different, how a pattern is laid out. If we repeat the same that we just did in that first box, in this box, and we start in the lower left corner, you'll see a different pattern emerge. And this pattern I call a cannoli. I don't know what the, I guess I'm food oriented here. I don't know what the proper name is for it, but you'll see what I'm talking about. Kind of looks like a cannoli when it's done. even though I started from the top down, it was really starting at the lower left corner going up. I don't know why I did it. I just decided to drag the pen towards me. Sometimes that's easier than pushing it away. But you could see I'm just repeating this pattern, and you'll see what evolves in the end of this. And that is what I call a cannoli. You'll see why. Or a macaroni or a ziti or a noodle. Something. Call it whatever you want. But you get a totally different pattern you can see here. You don't have the fan like you have in this corner section. You have a different design. And that's the beauty of the Zentangles, is you create the design you want. So in the next two boxes, we're going to do different so you can see what it looks like. Next to this cannoli, we're going to make a fan in the center of this lower box. So on this left-hand box here, I'm going to start in the lower right corner, and we're going to do our Zentangles just as we have done. Slow down and take the ruler away towards the end. And you can see the beginning of the fan. It looks just like that, okay? And it's going to be on the bottom. So now we have to reverse, and we're going to start in the lower left corner of this next box in order to create the same fan. So we're just going to mirror the image. With mirroring this image, you're going to be able to see how where you start, it makes a big difference in the end pattern. So practice with this so you know which patterns you want to do, what you like, and you can rotate them. You could put them in different areas of whatever doodles you're creating. Great for your bullet journals if you want to put them in there. And you're going to see this fan up here. So both the top box are, the top of the two are mirror images, and then they're exactly the same pattern, the same way, and the bottom one is a mirror image. So you have the cannoli or the noodle or whatever, and the bottom is the fan, if that makes sense. Put it in the comments below if you understand what I'm talking about, and if you're going to give this a try. So in this final box here, what we're going to do is we are going to section it off again. So I'm going to take out my small ruler, and we're going to put we're going to section it into squares on the bottom and triangles on the top, so you can get an idea how you can mix patterns together. So on the bottom of this, we're going to have two squares, and in the top, I'm going to divide them into triangles, but I'm going to divide them opposite corners. So on the bottom here, we're going to start on the lower left, and we're going to make the same fan that we made in the square that you see next to me on the bottom, but it's going to be reversed. So the wide part of the fan is going to be on the bottom of that instead of the top. So on the next box, we're just going to mirror what we just did. And we're going to start on the top right, or top left, the left of that box. Oh gosh, I'm confusing you. Sorry. But you'll see we end up with a fan similar as to the box next to it, only you'll see that it's in reverse. It's upside down. So you can see how it looks either way. The fan is similar, but the boxes are reversed, so you can see what it looks like. Hopefully you understand what I'm talking about. So guys, before we continue, I want to ask you to subscribe to the channel and click for the bell for notifications. And as we start these top triangles, we are going to make a fan in these as well, one in each corner. So we're going to mirror the two top corners together. So I started in the top right of this triangle, and I'll speed this up for you. And in the next top triangle, we're going to start in the left top, and we're going to continue that way. And I will speed this up for you so you can see what it looks like. So now as we complete the triangles, you will see there is a fan that is forming on the left and on the right, pointing towards the upper corners. That fan will be on that side. So we're going to start on the lower right and finish that fan, and then we're going to start on the lower left and finish this fan, so it mirrors the triangle that's next to it. So when we're complete here, you're going to be able to see the different variations in the top and the bottom, the triangles on the top, the square on the bottom, as to what patterns that you can have. Hopefully you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up, comment and share, and by all means make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure to join me next week for another tutorial. If you'd like to get a free coloring sheet, please click in the description box below and you can download that free coloring sheet. And then till next time, next week, we will see you for another tutorial, and you are going to learn how to doodle. Thanks for stopping by.